Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. As Russian drones and missiles attacks continue, U.S. defense support is on. U.S. armed deliveries to Ukraine have resumed, as confirmed by the Ukrainian spokesperson for the government. Also, U.S. President Donald Trump is going to make an important statement on Russia on Monday, announcing a new arrangement between United States, NATO and Ukraine. 500% tariffs on Russian goods and sanctions. To understand what could be behind what might appear as a pivot in Donald Trump's rhetoric, I'm joined by Magdalena Marta Baran, Managing Editor, Liberté. Good morning, madam, and thank you for coming to the studio.
Good morning.
So let us start by the latest, which are the deadly attacks, this time on the western part of Ukraine, which appears to be a shift in tactics. So Putin basically raises the stakes with human lives. Do you see a shift in this pattern?
Oh, well, we just see the new strategy that Putin is implementing in the Ukraine. So more attacks into civilian infrastructure, because last night, as you mentioned, it was Lviv, it was Lutsk, it was Kharkov again, including mainly civilian houses, civilian infrastructure, kindergarten in Lviv, but also critical infrastructure mainly in Lutsk and in Kharkov. And when we just make a step back and look at the last attack in Kharkov, so the attack to the maternity hospital, in fact, it was the attack after which Trump said, yeah, I will have some announcement for you on Monday. But we can also look at the numbers. And just in June, the estimation is that the Russians used more than 5,500 drones in the Ukraine, and just in the night from the 8 to 9 to 8 of July, they used more than 700 drones in one attack. And the attacks are very similar right now, and this is the strategy when first the ballistic missiles are coming, then the groups of drones, and then after several minutes, missiles again. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, yeah, we can see this attack at the very close to Polish border. In fact, our air forces started to operate this morning. At least I heard so. But it's also in the moment that when there is no safe place in the Ukraine. And just 2 days ago, there was 2 drones were seen at Czerniowce. And Czerniowce is the city close to the Ukrainian-Romanian border. And it was the first time since the beginning of war that any drones, any military movements were seen there. Mm-hmm. So far, it was treated as the safest place in the Ukraine, but right now we can hear that there is no safe place in the Ukraine. Exactly. And you can expect anything, especially when it comes to the civilian infrastructure and the attacks to the life of the civilians.
So intensity is one thing, mm-hmm. Regions is another, as you rightly pointed out. Those regions were so far being considered as relatively safe. It's no longer the case. Mm-hmm. So would you tend to agree, for instance, with some of the pundits like Michał Szudrzyński, for instance, in Rzeczpospolita, he wrote that it requires a completely new approach, and basically Trump is considering such a rearrangement of tactics, and partly of the whole construction of security in Europe. Do you think that something like this might happen?
Well, we already made some steps into this direction, including the BraveTech EU, so the new initiative between European Union and Ukraine. It is, in fact, a part of the white book published, prepared by Andrius Kubilius, so the Commissioner of Defense, but it and announced during the Polish presidency. And in the White Book, from the White Book, we know that we need to strengthen our security and our defense policy, defense industry also. So Brave Tech, Brave Tech EU, just to explain, is the innovation, is the mechanism that should let's say, increase our security, but also using the battlefield experience from the Ukraine, it should first, let's say, increase our defense capabilities, I mean European Union and Ukrainian, but also deepen the cooperation between European Union and Ukraine's defense industry. That would be the very first step, I believe. Of course, we are still waiting for another package of sanctions that was blocked by Hungary. And we already started to think about a recovery of the Ukraine and rebuilding of the Ukraine. That's one part. And of course, I used to say that I'm not a fortune teller, so and you never know what Trump really think of. And he already changed his mind several times about Ukraine. But right now, since he decided that yes, US will deliver weapon to the Ukraine, and they will rebuild this military cooperation, also thanks to the some arrangement with General Kellogg that was already mentioned by both sides, US and Ukraine. And then we have a step from German side, because Germany decided, Merz just mentioned 2 days ago or yesterday maybe, that Germany will buy Patriots from US to deliver Patriots to the Ukraine. So yes, definitely we have steps in a good direction, but we still need a strategy, and a strategy for the Ukraine trouble and strategy, let's say, against Russia. I believe it should be built on sanctions, and it was on sanctions and on a deeper cooperation between NATO countries. And maybe not a demonstration of power, but a demonstration of the unity of the pact right now. Also with this openness from maybe not Trump himself, but in general American administration, US administration, including Marco Rubio, including Pete Hegseth.
Well, how effective are the sanctions? This remains to be subject to debate, probably, but Trump has spent months lately basically praising Putin's strengths and smarts. Now he's berating him. So maybe let's try to find out what's behind this new tactic. What according to you, could be that we could expect on Monday from this announcement that he's just put forward?
Oh, to be honest, I'm really curious, because knowing Trump, in fact, that he can say everything. But I believe, I believe that this attack to the maternity hospital was somehow shocking for Trump, especially that it was combined with the tragedy with the children in Texas. Because of the flood, and he was asked about this event just after he was going to Texas to talk to the families. So it was the moment when he said, "Yeah, you will see what will happen." So what we may expect should be probably something strong, a strong statement.
Would you expect a shift in strategy as well? For instance, attacks on Russian soil? On civilian infrastructure?
No, I don't think so, because the attack from NATO would put NATO into war, and this is something that we definitely want to avoid. But Ukrainians already started to attack Russian infrastructure.
Of a
military infrastructure, even close to Moscow. So I think that we need to wait, because knowing Trump is...
Exactly. That will show us if this is a strategic shift or just a reinforcement of existing positions. But how about Russia and its allies? China and Iran, for that matter, likely to respond to a combination of sanctions, because those sanctions are mainly targeted for the partners of Russia as far as oil and gas are concerned. So what could be their retaliation here?
Not sure about China, because I think that China is on this position that, okay, we'll stay here and we'll look what will happen. They will definitely wait. And since Iran is not that powerful anymore, and it's not able to deliver weapons, not able to deliver drones to Russia, and not able to actively support Russia right now. So I think that Iran is rather about to focus on its own problems, and it needs to solve the internal situation, but also the situation with Israel and so on. So I wouldn't think about Iran that much. And China, I deeply believe that they will just wait and see what will be the Trump's and European Union's move right now, and then they will act. And when it comes to sanctions, well, the sanctions are, I would say, pretty successful when it comes to the ships. Because we blocked, in this 18th package of sanctions of the European Union sanctions, I mean, it should block almost 500 ships delivering oil from Russia and Russian partners to the other parts of the world. So it should at least stop Russia from earning money that will, in fact, deliver perspectives, deliver funds to the military industry, to the production.
Exactly. This is debatable, right? Exactly how persuasive are those next sanctions planned by Donald Trump for the Kremlin?
Oh, well, once again, here we'll see. But I would be happy to hear that we'll hear more about very personal sanctions, especially for not only the highest Russian politicians, but that sanctions that should also be difficult to bear for Russian citizens, and sanctions that should be seen by the citizens. Just 2 days ago, I had a talk about personal responsibility of the civilian population for war and the awareness of war.
In Russia
right now, and from what we know from the research, the awareness is really low. I mean, in those villages far from Moscow, far from Petersburg, far from these big cities, but the responsibilities of the civilian population for voting, for choosing, for supporting, in fact, war is really high right now.
So what's your final thought on the latest attacks on the western part of Ukraine?
Just a new tactic, new strategy, and a step in a very, very dangerous direction. Because when you look at Kiev, some parts of Kiev, when you look at the cities that were bombing, you see the really after-war scenario, and the difficulty of the reconstruction and rebuilding of the Ukraine that already have been discussed during the recovery conference in Rome last week. So the most fruitful, it was say. So the rebuilding of the Ukraine will be really difficult, but first we still need to find any conditions of possible peace for the Ukraine right now.
Thank you so much, Magdalena Marta Baran, Liberté, for coming here and sharing your insights and your comments with us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching World Talks. But don't go away, we're coming back right after with latest news.